Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Anything But Hold'em. It's Badugi morning this morning on Anything But Hold'em. We are playing a $2.20 fixed limit Badugi game that runs every morning at 9:20 a.m. on PokerStars. As usual, I thought I was ready to stream, and as usual, I'm not. It turns out that my Twitter chat is not showing for some absolutely bizarre reason. Alrighty, what did Svetic do over here? Yeah, we probably could have saved ourselves a bet there and not called, but you know, what are you going to do? Going to fold here. The queen isn't very good. We could certainly draw to the queen with 3 draws, but it's one of those situations where I don't know that it's that profitable. Oh, frustrating. Alrighty, there's our Twitter chat back. Hope you're enjoying the Anything But Hold'em series. Of course, the basic idea here is that you can get your fill of Hold'em all over the place. Pretty much everywhere you go, you can find No Limit Hold'em being played on TV or on streams. Right here on Twitch. Jason Somerville at J Carver Poker here on Twitch does some amazing streaming. He's like the Uber streamer. So go check that out. But so you can find No Limit Hold'em basically anywhere you look. Swing a dead cat, you're going to hit 3 No Limit Hold'em streams. It seems like these days. What you don't see nearly as often are streams of other kinds of poker, being able to watch other kinds of poker being played. And poker is a very varied game. It's not just No Limit Hold'em. There's draw games, there's stud games, there's Omaha games. There's all sorts of mixed games where they throw 5 or 8 or a bunch of games in the mix and rotate through them. So there's a whole bunch of different kinds of poker out there. And today we're playing one of my favorite, which is Badugi. Badugi is completely different from other forms of poker because unlike most poker where you're trying to make poker hands such as quads, full houses, 3 of a kinds, pairs, 2 pairs, that sort of thing. In Badugi, what you're trying to do is you're trying to build a hand that has no matching ranks and no matching suits. And to top that off, you're trying to make the smallest version of that hand you can make. So the nuts in Badugi is a 4-3 deuce ace rainbow. It doesn't matter what kind of rainbow it comes in as long as none of your 4 cards have the same suit and none of your 4 cards have the same rank. Figuring out who wins a Badugi hand is a bit complicated until you realize that it works from the top down, not from the bottom up. So for example, if I'm playing a 8, 5, 4, 3 deuce, and you are playing a 7, 6, 3 deuce ace. Oh, sorry, that's too many cards. If I'm playing an 8, 4, 3 deuce, and you are playing a 7-6-4-3, you win because your 7 beats my 8 every time, and the rest of the cards in our hands are irrelevant at that point. Okay? So let's say we're both playing 7s. Let's say I'm playing 7-6-5-4. You're playing 7-3-deuce-1. You win every time because your 73 beats my 76. So when the highest card matches, you go to the second highest card. You check whether it matches. Lowest card wins. If those two match, you go to the third highest. Lowest card wins. If those two match, you go to the fourth highest. Lowest card wins. If those two match, it's a split pot. You don't get a ton of split pots in Badugi usually. Usually there is a winner determined one way or the other, but occasionally you'll get split pots. You can potentially have a multi-way split pot with everybody having the nuts in Badugi because there are several nut hands on any given time. There are several ways that you can make 4-3 deuce ace rainbow. I mean, if I have 4 spade, 3 diamond, deuce heart, ace club, and you have 4 diamond, 3 heart, deuce club, ace spade, we both have the nuts. We both have a 4-card Badugi. We are both 4-3 deuce ace. So we both have the nuts in that case, and we would split that pot. That's not going to happen all that often, obviously. Um, that sort of thing is akin to the sort of ace-ace and ace-ace showing up in 2 hands on a HoldEm table. Right, this is one of those somewhat difficult draw situations because we have to throw away one of our 4s. We sort of wish that one of those 4s was a spade so that we could be happy with the deuce and throw the 4 spades away, but we have to break up suits if we play. This is basically going to be drawing 2 to a 4 deuce, which is a workable draw, but you have to remember it's not the strongest hand in the world starting off. It looks way stronger than it is, but those paired 4s really damage the strength of the hand. But we drew 2 into a Badugi, which is a 95. Not the best Badugi in the world, but for now we're going to throw money in the pot. We're going to see what people do. We're going to pat. We're going to see what he does to our pat. He's discarding 1. He's got 1 draw remaining. We're going to watch him discard another one on this hand. We're going to pat again, and we're going to see what happens. I don't necessarily think that we're strong enough to raise here with a 95. We're absolutely not folding at any time, but I don't really think that we can raise. $8.51 is not a bad place to start. Obviously, as we saw in the last hand, hands as high as 8 are vulnerable, but there's not really much that we can do about that. I don't think we need to bloat the pot at this point with a hand like this. Throw the 8 spade. Now the question is, do we want to pay 120 to draw again at this pot? And I think with an 85, I think we can probably get rid of this safely and not lose too much. Yeah, I was expecting Tommy to pat there with the way the betting patterns went. And I'm probably not in very good shape, even if I draw into my 8 with a lower card. With an 8, I'm still probably not in great shape. 4-6-8, I think we'll play this as well. Although with the raise with Svet here, one thinks that maybe he's playing a relatively strong hand. That said, that's also the way that you would play a weak Badugi on first draw as well as aggressively as possible. So Sveti's patting. So are the other two. We're going to draw into this. Obviously, we don't think that we're in very good shape. Well, no, we're not in good shape because we paired our deuce. If we hit a 3 diamond, I'd be pretty happy with our situation, but I wouldn't have been very happy with our situation because we would have lost. Gonna play this one. Might have a short day today. I'm actually gonna have a look at some sit and goes and see if I can get registered in a sit and go, since this looks like it's going slowly and badly. Just registered in an Omaha high-low sit and go as well, so maybe we'll jump into that if this goes poorly. They're here. We're still sitting on a pretty good 3 card. With Urichi padding, I obviously don't want to throw too much money in the pot. But I think we're going to call and see one more draw at least. Uric is still padding. I think we played Uric in one of the other Badugi games we played as well, actually. He looks familiar. This pot is getting big enough that we should probably be in it for the final draw just to see what we get. And yeah, we're obviously not drawing great this time around. We were drawing live against Uric, which is what we thought we were doing, but drawing live doesn't do you any good when you miss your draws, unfortunately. We had to break up our pair of 4s there to get value, to find something worthwhile, so we're not in great shape now no matter what. We're drawing to a Jack 6. With everybody else still drawing, it means that we've got a reasonable chance of actually drawing out in this hand, but we could be ahead with a 3 card, but a Jack 3 card is not something that I'm willing to put any significant amount of money in on. I think we're going to put the rest of our money in here and hope that we can draw into our 94 and hold out. We don't have much of a stack left, so we don't have a whole lot of choices. Well, that's just the way our day's been going, frankly. Drawing into a club that matches our 4 is just the way that the day's been going. And I mean, we're already deep enough in this pot that we've got to keep putting money in. There we go. We drew out nicely. He was drawing live. We were both drawing live, so that's something to go. But, you know, sometimes you just got to spray and pray in a situation like this. 6-4 ace is a really good 3 card starting hand, so we're definitely involved in a draw or two. We want to see what Tommy's drawing. Tommy's drawing 1. So I don't really think that we're going anywhere. 64 is an excellent 3 card. Tommy's decided that he's padded into a hand that he likes. So have we. And in fact, we're going to raise here. We're going to pat. No draws remaining. We're going to bet in, and we're going to win this pot, and because we're going to put all of our money in, and we're going to, there we go. There we go. So maybe we aren't gonna be so short on this game after all. We'll see. We'll see how things go from here. Get Delta Natural Badugi, of course, with a pair of sevens. Kills it. That's disturbing, I suppose. Got a break coming up here pretty quick. Let's just have a quick rundown of this fixed limit Badugi tournament. 38 people started the day for a total prize pool of $76. There's 34 remaining now. So 4 people have busted already. They're paying out 6 places. Min Cash gets $4.18, with first place getting $28.12. We're currently at level 3, which are 61-20 stakes. When we go to the break, after the break, we'll be moving into 81-60 in level 4. Starting chip sack was 1,500 chips. Right now, our leader is Dahu from Bulgaria with 4,830 chips. Svetek 62 is second with 3,730. Svetek was on our table, is on our table right beside us here. Ace 3 is obviously a good starting hand. I was going to fold that out, but I thought against it. Ace 3 is obviously the second best starting hand you can start with for 2 cards. Now 2 card is obviously not a great starting place, but when you draw, yeah, see, we've just drawn really crappily there. And in fact, I think what I'm going to do is check through and just redraw those 2 that came out. Just ignore them. And again, we're just drawing horribly here. We're going to get out of this hand. We don't really have enough equity at this point to be continuing drawing on big bet rounds. Urich takes it down with an 84 Badugi. Alrighty, so the break is starting. I'm going to go do my custodial duties, and I'll be back. We got some weirdness happening on our stream. Let me try to fix that as well before I go. Alrighty, welcome back to Anything But Hold'em. I've put up the no limit Omaha high-low table that I'm playing as well. We've drawn into a Badugi. It's a pretty crappy Badugi here, but I think we're going to pat our second draw. Just see how we can get to showdown here. Still drawing, still patting, still drawing. I think we're pretty happy with our situation here. I mean, Svetic might have drawn out on us for sure, and he did. With a queen, just like we had, that's kind of bites. That kind of bites. So on the right-hand side, we've got our 150 no limit Omaha high-low sit and go 18-person turbo. On the left, we have our $1.10 fixed limit Badugi. Or sorry, $2.20 fixed limit Badugi. Now we could have actually played this discarding our 3 of hearts, playing a 10-6-3, looking for spade. We've been getting our asses handed to us with weak Badugi draws over the past little while, so I think we're going to tighten up just a little bit in the starting hands that we're playing, because it does seem like we're getting our ass handed to us on a fairly large number of pots when we're starting with a weak 3 card or a weak 2 card. Or even, as we did in that other hand, a weak 4 card. So Tommy's raised it up. We've got some calls behind, so we got crap loads of odds in this. We're on an 86, 861 when we discard our queen. So we're going to see at least one draw here. Get rid of our 6 of hearts again. A couple of 10s, king 9. I'm not really going to play that on a high-low table usually. What did IVK? Discarded 1 card. The feeling IVK 47's padding now. I'm going to get out of this because I'm not comfortable with an 86, drawing into an 86 when I'm pretty sure, yep, like I said, padding. Tommy padding as well. Svetic still drawing a card. One of these guys is going to have it, I think. They're all padding now. 76, 54, and that's got it. I was pretty sure that one of these two was going to take that one down. Not playing that. Say hello in chat if you're out there listening. We are still playing $2.20 fixed limit Badugi, as the title suggests. We have added a $1.50 Omaha high-low sit and go as well to the mix. We are double tabling Anything But Hold'em this morning, folks. Three, four, king, queen over here on the high-low table with 1 suit. I think we're pretty happy in 50 chips with this and see a flop. Obviously, we're going to get odds if the situation stays as it is. This is a no-limit game for the record, which means we can do whatever we want at this stage, but all we really want to do, I think, is call through over here. That's not the suit we were looking for. The deuces help our low hand quite dramatically. I don't think we're still quite ready to put money in the pot. Although we might call here. So we've paired our queen. We've got queens and deuces. Anybody who's playing an ace deuce has got us capped on high, but we are drawing better on low than they are most likely. I don't really think that we can go anywhere at this point. We've got to see the river and see where our hand goes from here. We're probably not winning high, but I think we've got a pretty good chance of winning low on this pot. I don't think I can go anywhere. I think I'm getting half the pot a significant number of times, so I pretty much have to call, I think. Yeah, like I said, I'm getting half the pot a good portion of the time there. So I need to be willing to call through on that. Now this is a pretty looking high-low hand. Anybody who's been watching me play high-low should recognize that this is an absolutely gorgeous high-low hand. The only thing that'd make it better is if the deuce five were suited as well, but one suit, ace deuce 3-5, we're in a good shape here. And in fact, I think what we want to do is put some pressure on features. Features is no, I don't think we need to until we see a flop. I think we're gonna play this one out of position. We've got a super strong hand, so if the flop works for us, which it obviously does. We're pretty happy with that. We've flopped a gut shot, so I think we're happy to put money in the pot here. This is a bit of a donk bet. We might have checked and let feature bet in, but I'm not sure he's gonna bet in a whole bunch. So I think we're gonna max behind at this stage. We obviously don't have the nut high, but we've got a very good nut. We've got a very good low, nut low. So I split lows with people. Yeah, I didn't do horribly there. I didn't do great, but I didn't do horribly. Deuce three. I don't think we need to get involved with so much action happening. From the Badugi table, we're not drawing great, as seems to be the theme of the day. Yeah, seems to be the theme of the day not to draw well on the Badugi table. Pretty nice looking high-low hand just developed over on this side. I think we're definitely going to put a pot-sized bet in there and see what happens. Ace 3-6 with an 8. I think we're going to throw in a raise and see what happens here. We paired our deuce, which still gives us ace 3 for high, so we're fairly happy with that. I don't think we're thrilled with this hand, but we don't hate it either. Certainly helps that we got another low card in here. Our ace 3 is still looking good for low. And we took down that one on there with a better 3 card. I think we're going to have to call through again. Pairing the 8 is obviously not our favorite thing in the world. It means that we don't have a low. Oh wow, and our deuces work for high. That's a little bit surprising, frankly. I'll take it, but it's a little surprising. I did not expect to win that pot. Deuce 4-8 jack with hearts. Could certainly play that. My stats say that Chaplin is not raising very much, so I don't necessarily think I need to get involved given that being the case. This is a natural Badugi, but being a king jack, I'm actually just going to fold it out pre-flop. That's probably Badugi specialists are probably going, "Oh my God, what did you just do?" But you know what can I do? I've been getting my ass handed to me with these weak Badugis all day trying to pat down, and I don't really think that I can necessarily draw to those profitably either. When you break up a Badugi, they don't ever seem to come back. 6-3, 7 queen. I'm going to get rid of that, I think. It's double suited, so that makes it pretty, and the 6 and the 3 aren't horrible low cards, but they're not great low cards either, so. Yeah, this is a bit of a mess of a Badugi hand. Click the follow button below the video link if you like what you're seeing and you want to see more anything but HoldEm. As I said a while ago, the whole point of this is that it's pretty hard to find examples of games other than HoldEm being shown on TV or in streams or things like that. The whole point of anything but HoldEm is to give people a place to see all the different forms of poker that are out there. We'll play draw games, we'll play stud variants, we'll play Omaha variants, we'll play Badugi, we'll play all the mixed games. We'll basically play everything that is available out there in the online poker universe that I can find. I mostly play on stars, but we may find as time goes on that I move over onto some of the other platforms. Might go have a look at what sorts of games places like Tilt and Party Poker offer as far as the non-Hold'em is concerned. I haven't played much over on those platforms, although I have accounts on all of them. I'm around 66, I believe, everywhere I go in the poker universe. Um, if I'm not around 66, I'm probably around 6,900, one of the two. So you can look for me there. I've really been enjoying these doing these streams. Um, it's been a lot of fun to play the various games, but I'm also finding that I think it improves my play when I'm streaming because having to think so deeply about each hand is really making me focus on the decisions I'm making and having reasons for why I'm making them. Like I said, we're getting drawn out on with these weak Badugis like all the time today, so it's really getting a little bit frustrating. In theory, from what I understand, the odds should not favor somebody drawing into a Badugi after 3 draws. The odds favor that hands are more likely to end in a 3 card if you're drawing 3 times than they are as a Badugi, I think. So I'm a little bit, the fact that we have not won a single one of our weak Badugis that we've padded through makes me a little bit questionable. But and again, I think on this one we're just going to get rid of it. We'll call through, and I'm going to try to draw into this one, see how drawing goes. I'm obviously not going to play a king nine. I don't think that's obviously by experience it's gone poorly for us so far this time around. I don't know that breaking up a natural Badugi is going to be a profitable play very often. Um, what did IVK? IVK discarded 1. Um, I mean, the 3 card that we're drawing into isn't horrible. It's not great, obviously, but it's not terrible. Yeah, he's padding. So if we don't draw, yeah, we're out. You'd get out of this Omaha hand, I think. Omaha high-low, just not enough on either end, really. Gonna play this, get rid of the 5 of clubs. It's drawing to a queen, but we're certainly hoping to improve our queen at some point during the 3 draws. Drawing like a 4 diamond or a 6 diamond now, and then drawing our queen on the last 2 draws to look for a heart would be ideal. But yeah, we do, I think, eventually want to be looking to improve our queen. Alrighty, so Surmil's gone to sleep over here, our Slovenian friend. I think we've got to play this one. The question is how we want to do it. Again, I think we're in a drawing situation almost exclusively, so I think we want to see what the flop is before we put too many chips in the pot. If we can avoid it. So we've paired our 3, which is actually quite probably the worst thing that could have happened to us. So we're just going to get out of this hand. They say it's hard to make a pair in HoldEm. Well, this is not HoldEm. This is Omaha, and it's much easier to make a pair in Omaha, and you shouldn't really be thinking about standing on it. I think we're going to want to play this, and I think that the way we want to play this is for a pot bet. We're under the gun, so we want to definitely put out the strength that we have and be able to make. So we drew into a lower diamond. It's not quite the diamond that we wanted, but we're happier over here. We can draw our queen now. Right, so we've actually drawn really well here. Paired our queen. We've got a great low draw. So I think I have to go. I don't think I have any choice but to go here. I've got a strong enough draw on both ends, and I've got top pair, top kicker. I don't really think I can do anything but get out of here. Wow. Discard 1. I got pretty lucky over there. Well, sort of lucky. I mean, I wasn't up against the greatest hands in the world. So... Four, 8, 8, 6. I could certainly going to see a flop on this and see what we get. That's not a great flop for our hand, frankly. That's not one that we need to play over here. That doesn't really help us much at all. A 7 does give us the sucker straight at this point, but we're not really liking our hand. Now the 8 on the river obviously makes us a lot happier with our hand. And I think now is the time to put some money into the pot. We're going to fold the Badugi table. That 8 on the river was obviously just dumbass luck. Although he let us get there, so yeah, he didn't really have anything to speak of. But he definitely let us get there. Well, that vaults us way up into second spot in the Omaha high-low table. There's 11 people left, and we're sitting in second stack. Don't think there's any reason to get involved with this, frankly. So this is called drawing 3 to the nuts. Facetiously called drawing 3 to the nuts. I mean, I'm drawing to a 4. I could potentially draw a 3 deuce 1 of different suits. It could happen. So we obviously didn't draw great. We're going to get rid of our King of Hearts and see what happens with our second draw. Queen of Clubs doesn't do us any good whatsoever. I think we're going to fold on the Omaha table. Ace 8, pair of 8s. I'm not really that under the gun needing to get involved there. We're not really super comfortable over on the Badugi table. Jack 7 isn't going to win very many 3-card races, as we can see here. So Ace King King 4 would be a lot better if it was over on our Omaha high-low table than it is here. And I think we're just going to give it to the guy. I don't think we want to dispute that, frankly. Queen, Queen, 9, 10. We've got no low whatsoever. We're just basically check folding this hand pretty much all the time. We're going to play this one. 3-4 is a decent. I mean, obviously we're drawing 2 into the nuts in this situation, so it's technically a, it's technically a pretty decent starting hand for a 2-card. Sir Mill padded. That's interesting. So we've drawn into a King 4, which is obviously a bad hand, but a good king, and we're going to go out on this. Yep, we're going to go out on this. So that was us for the Badugi. We finished in 25th place, which obviously isn't a cash, but nonetheless, it's a finish. We probably could have gotten out of that last hand or drawn to our king, but I don't think in that situation drawing to the king would have done anything better for us than what happened. Getting out of the hand obviously would have left us with a few chips to play another hand, but we were getting so low stacked for the blinds that, for the stakes, that I really don't think I had a whole lot of choice other than to get involved there. I suppose drawing to the king, once I'm seeing I'm padding, maybe on my last draw there, if I draw to the king and see what happens, good things might happen. So maybe that's the strategy to go, but otherwise I'm not hugely upset with the way I played the hand. I think I probably should have drawn the king on my last draw instead of padding the king on my last draw. We're obviously going to get involved in this. We're gonna do a raise over there. So yeah, I mean, it wasn't a great situation. It wasn't a horrible situation, but it's just one of those things that's going to happen where you're going to get drawn out. We're obviously calling through here without question. I imagine Granny Hammy will as well. So we got 7-4 deuce 1 for low. Nothing else really developing, but we're fairly happy with our low at this point. We're not hugely unhappy with 3-7s ace high either at this point. So I think we're definitely going to put some more chips in. And nobody has a low, but I think that we're fairly happy with our ace high at this point, frankly. No. Okay, so he's got the full house with the kings, and that's cool. I mean, that's going to happen, but I think we had to be involved there. Alrighty, so we've just got to the final table of this high-low tournament. We are sitting still in second place. I'm going to do a bit of stream maintenance here for a second, and I will be back. Hey, Mav, good to see you. Good to see you back. We just busted out of our 220 fixed limit Badugi, but we are now playing a Omaha 8. Omaha 8, sit and go. 150 by 18 turbo. Good to have you here. I'm going to zip off mic for 2 seconds as well and go grab myself some coffee. I will be right back. Righty, next time I leave the table for a coffee or something, I may just leave my headset on because I just walked all the way downstairs and poured my coffee and I could hear the sounds from the table coming out, so maybe the mic would even work. I don't think we need to get involved with that. I was actually starting to look at this like a Badugi hand, so it's one of the one of the problems of playing Badugi and Omaha games side by side, or one right after the other, is that the seeing the 4 cards, you get thinking into a certain pattern, and it doesn't. It's not the right way to think for the 2 games. You have to think differently for the 2 games with your 4 cards. So. It's nice to see some people here on a Saturday morning. Well, it's Saturday morning for me here in Alberta, Canada. I suppose it could be any time of day or night for people out there in the streamverse. So we are sitting third place right now. Ace, a 4-4, 8 with a suited ace. It's a nice looking hand for an Omaha high-low game, so I think we're going to get involved with this. Obviously, in these 18-person sit and goes, there is 4 places paid. 952 for first, 237 for fourth. Those are all pretty standard payouts. So we're going to call through on this, see what the flop brings, and go from there. The flop hasn't brought us any pairs, but we still have our pair of 4s, and we do have a reasonable low draw. We're still worried about the ace deuce, but anyone who's playing an ace 3 has just been sort of capped out by the 3s, and our 4s are still beating them for high. That said, with people betting and raising, I probably don't need to be involved here. I don't really think I'm going to draw out low often enough. It is the second nuts, and Ken did give me grief for not calling with the second nuts or not playing the second nuts before. But it's a second nut draw at this point, so, and Ken gave me grief for actually getting rid of the second nuts. That wasn't the second nuts, that's only a second nut draw, so. And of course, we just drew into the nuts at the end of the hand. That's rather annoying. Well, the nut low, obviously, we haven't drawn into any sort of high hand, but we've drawn into the nut low. So we're still waiting for 5 people we still need to get rid of 5 people before we're in the money in this, but we've hit the final table. I've won quite a few of these in recent times. Yesterday, over the last 3 days, I think I've won 3 of these out of maybe 6 or 7 that I've played. So I'm doing okay in these Omaha high-lows. I probably could have played that, frankly. But neither the 4-3 nor the King-Queen unsuited are that useful on either end, and there's no connection in the middle. So it's not really a great place to start an Omaha high-low hand. It's not a horrible place to start an Omaha high-low hand, obviously. But as you can see, I mean, we haven't really flopped much. And there aren't a ton of flops that we're going to look at and go, oh my God, that's a wonderful flop for our hand. There just aren't that many, frankly. The 4 coming kills our low and essentially gives us a high that we can't do anything with. So we're frankly not very, we wouldn't be very happy if we were in this hand. So there's a low, there is going to be a low potentially splitting the pot. We'd be playing a pair of 4s and nothing else in pretty bad shape. All suited hands, of course, are never something that you want to get involved with. The 2 other cards just basically kill 2 possible suit cards coming on the board for you. We're not getting great hands coming up. Might be seeing Goebbels busting here. I don't really think that we can profitably oppose him from the position that we're in, but I have a feeling that somebody else is going to. It's a bit surprising that I'm still in second place, given how my chip stack has suffered over the past few hands since we got to the final table, but I am still in second place. Alrighty, so we're down to 8 people. 4 to go until the money. We are still in second place. Granny Hammy from Canada is in first. We are second. Pietja from the Netherlands is third. Fourth place currently going to Ninja LG 1411 to my right. Nope, just changed. Fourth place currently going to Mars underscore CHR from Greece. We will actually be dropping to third after these blinds go through us, but then I think we will go back up to second once the blinds go through Mars, assuming that things don't change. Now, if Ninja gives us a walk, that would actually mean that we don't, and he does not give us a walk. He looks pretty hesitant. We could absolutely shove here, and I think that's what we're going to do, frankly. Make him play for his stack. So that keeps us in second, which is nice. Ace, ace, ace 3 with diamonds to the ace is a pretty good hand, and I think we're definitely going to play this. That 3 is obviously not the friendliest thing in the world. We've still got backdoor diamonds working for us potentially, but the hand is getting weaker as we go. We could have probably still bet our pair of aces there if we'd wanted to. Well, we did at least get some sort of a low draw. But it's one that if we hit, or the ace deuce that might have gotten capped on the flop is also going to hit. So we don't necessarily want to put a crap load of money in. It's a reasonably big pot as it is. We don't need to bloat the pot. We're going to have to put in something like 600 to 900 chips at least to make it a credible bet. I don't think we can go anywhere here, frankly. We just hit a pair of 9s to go with our pair of 3s, so we've got 2 pairs. We've got a reasonably good high. We no longer have aces. We've got a 9s and 3s. Our aces were ahead anyways. It was pair of 3s, high card ace. We knew that we weren't in great shape for the low, but ace, ace, queen, jack, not the best spot to be in, frankly, because there's no low, but I think that we need to play this aggressively if it folds to us pre. Yeah, and I think what we need to do is pot this. Yeah, that's the most profitable way to play that hand, because although everybody folds out and we just take the blinds and antes, we're pretty weak if somebody plays back and has low draw possibilities. So yeah, I mean, I don't necessarily think that we're really thrilled if people play back at us there. No real reason to get involved there. The pair of fives, king, queen. I mean, there's no low. It's just not really going to win us many pots, and would not have won us that one. That's just decimated Pietje's stack. He is now the shorty at the table. Certainly could get involved with an ace-4 here. It's a very credible hand. We can also stay out of the mix and see what happens. There's a whole bunch of shorties that are going to need to do something very quickly. I mean, these are people that are less than 2 big blinds for the most part. Well, Pima's a little bit more than 2. There's like almost 4, but still. Um, these 4 are all less than 2 big blinds, which means they live or breathe each round, live or die each round. So we need to be putting pressure on them. We need to be, but we need to be doing it with hands that we know are just going to be giving them chips. See, again, if I was in later position, I would probably play this aggressively as I played the ace-ace king-queen hand that I had the last time, or whatever it was, the ace-ace with the other 2 face cards. I think it was king-queen. But I'm in early enough position. I think I'm just going to fold it out with no low draw. The pair of kings are, they're good high, obviously, but there's so many ways that you can get halved or quartered in this situation that I think it's probably not going to be hugely profitable on a high-low game to be putting a ton of chips in there. Now, if I'm sitting on a 6-3 or a 6 deuce instead of a 6-9 with those pair of kings, it might be a different situation. And that's Pietja done. So we are down to 7 people left. I am still sitting second behind Granny Hammy. Ace-4, 8 queen double suited. I think that's something we can get involved in early for limp and see what happens. People seem to be pretty happy to play for limps at this stage. Maybe I should be putting pressure on with these smaller stacks being the ones that were there. What are we at? 763 into 30. I don't think I can do anything really but call. We're getting like 5-1 with this. See a flop and go from there. So 6-7-4 ace. Still backdoor hearts. I'm pretty okay with this. The spades come through. Still no low. That low just bites. We ended up with 8-7-6 for ace. And just pair of sevens with ace high for our high. I don't really think we can do anything here. Bit surprising that we won anything with that pot, frankly. But with him only playing deuces, I guess it makes some sense. Not sure what Ninja was playing there, but I'm pretty clear. It seems pretty clear that if I'd bet, he'd have gone south faster than you can imagine. So 7 people left, 4 pay, so we're still waiting for 3 to cash before we get into the money. I don't really think for 214 chips into 4,000, getting literally almost 20-1 odds here. So there's not really any hand in the world that I could possibly fold if they dealt me 4 cocktail napkins by mistake instead of playing cards, I probably can't fold for 20 to 1 odds. So we've hit a pair of 8s, which has severely damaged our already very bad low draw. So I think even though it's only 403 chips and we're getting like 10 to 1 odds, I don't really think we can profitably call here. I've got to think that Ninja's got a stronger hand than he didn't, and we would have ended up with trips by the end. But that's okay. We got rid of one more, so there's 6 left now. We are still sitting in second, so I'm not terribly upset with that. I think that there'd be 6 left, and I would be in a much better chip position had I called there, but that is life on the poker table. We'll call through here, see what Granny decides he wants to do on this. We might have just given up 400 chips. I'm surprised he checked back to us there. I'm fairly confident with the strength of our hand at this point. We obviously don't have a high, but we have just developed a high, although our low has gotten somewhat worse. I think we're going to check back again, check call, obviously, in this case. Could be very much a split pot at this point with him playing a good low and us playing a good high, but we'll see what happens. I mean, I think that I'm definitely... Yeah, I don't see 5. Yeah, there's no straights that came in that I can see, so I'm definitely playing this for what I've got. Yeah. Split pot seems reasonable from that situation. This is one I think we raise pre on the button. There will be no low. Should have played that one as well. That's put us into 4th position. Turns out I'm not making great decisions in the last couple of hands, or at least not if I'm being results oriented. This one hasn't turned out too horribly for us. Folding this hand, we did hit a pair of 8s, which is top pair, but I'm not sure that's going to stand for high by the end. We are technically in 3rd, but we're only literally 5 chips in front of Mars CHR, so I think if Ninja shoves on me, I have to call, even with the weakness of my hand. I don't really think I have much choice. Wow, he's way stronger than he has to be there. Come on, clubs. He's way stronger than he has to be there. This one we shove. I think the ace deuce and the clubs and the 7-8 for straights. I think we've got no choice but to shove here. Not feeling great about the situation, but I equally think that we don't have any choice. Wow. Wow. What a run out. What a run out. 10-7 on the flop, so that he's got tens, I've got sevens. 7 on the turn, so I've got a set of sevens. 10 on the river, so he's got a set of tens. That is the way Omaha high-low goes. Well, thank you for joining me today on Anything But Hold'em. I guess that's it for now. I might be back later with some other stuff. We'll see what else is playing later on in the day. It's a good time for playing sit and go mixed games at the moment with the golden sit and goes on. They're filling a lot more often, and who knows? You might sit down and have PokerStars go, "Hey, here's a whole bunch of cash. Take it." You never know. Hasn't happened to me yet, but I hear that it occasionally happens with the golden sit and goes. So give it a shot. There's lots of folding. You're getting action anyways, which is great, whether it's a golden or not. So enjoy, and maybe we'll see you later on. If not, we've got a big day tomorrow where we will be playing limit deuce to 7, a triple draw at noon in the weekly round 2. We will be playing horse in our Anything But Hold'em weekly challenge at 3 p.m. Mountain Time. These times are all Mountain. And of course, as usual, we'll be serving up the Sunday Raz at 9:20 p.m. Mountain Time tomorrow. So join me again then. It might be online later, so watch your Twitter feed and watch your Twitch announcements. And I may very well be back then, but otherwise, we will see you tomorrow here on Anything But Hold'em.